Welcome to the complete story for the Age of Ultron miniseries. What did you guys think of this story arc? Honestly, for me it ended rather quickly and almost felt like it was being set up as a tight package to make a movie transition easier. I don't know, that's just my opinion. What is your guys' opinion? Let me know in the comments down below. Well, let's move forward. Things with the Age of Ultron begin with New York in ruins. Ultron has returned and taken over. And for those of you who don't know who Ultron is, he is a robot created by Henry Pym who went evil long ago. But he's always been defeated, hasn't he? Well, Ultron rules the world, and Ultron Sentinels are guarding every street. Spider-Man has been captured by some villains working for Ultron, and it takes a rescue from Hawkeye to get Spider-Man out. Still cracking jokes, Hawkeye gets Spider-Man to the last superhero hideout, where we see that the remaining superheroes are Iron Man, Emma Frost, She-Hulk, Luke Cage, Invisible Woman, and Wolverine. And when they discuss if all hope is lost, we see a saddened Captain America, who is sitting next to a broken shield. Things have gone bad. They've lost friends, family, and they've lost the world to Ultron. They have no idea how they're gonna get it back. As a last-ditch effort, Captain America suggests that they offer up someone to Ultron, someone who they can turn in to damage his fortress heavily from the inside. And their plan is for Luke Cage and She-Hulk to get inside, She-Hulk to damage it, and Luke Cage to talk to Ultron and try to figure out if they can come to some kind of terms. But once inside, they discover things are so much worse than everyone expected. Ultron isn't even here. He's using Vision's body to command and control everything from the future. A future that he has already won. There's no way to stop him. Luke Cage gets thrown out of the building by She-Hulk before Ultron can kill them both, and sacrifices herself so that Cage can get this info to the remaining Avengers. Luke Cage manages to let them know the situation, but then he dies to his injuries. What are they gonna do? He's literally sending things back from the future to ensure that his future happens. Meanwhile, Black Widow and Moon Knight find some of Nick Fury's end-of-the-world scenarios, and they find one that says everyone should go to a hidden base in the Savage Land if Ultron ever takes over the city. Boy, Nick Fury's really prepared. With that, the entire remaining force moves to the hidden base in the Savage Lands. It's here that they discover where Fury's been hiding, and it's here that he has a plan. He wants everyone to use Dr. Doom's time platform to go into the future, but before Ultron actually attacks the present. If they can keep him from doing that, then everything should go back to normal. But Wolverine doesn't think it'll work. Ultron will just keep trying to attack us and find another way to win in the end. They need to go into the past and kill Henry Pym before he can even create Ultron. It is suggested that they just tell Pym not to build it, but Wolverine says that's basically like challenging him to make it so it doesn't conquer the world. After much debate, Iron Man, Captain America, Nick Fury, Red Hulk, Storm, Quake, and Quicksilver all go into the future to stop Ultraman before he attacks. But once they leave, Wolverine decides to go into the past to kill Pym himself, and once he gets there, he finds that Invisible Woman has followed him. In the future, the heroes are quickly overwhelmed by Ultron Sentinels as he expected this and was ready. But in the past, Invisible Woman and Wolverine debate the good that Pym has done versus the evil that is Ultron. It is decided that the only way to end this is for Wolverine to kill Pym, which he does. Thinking that they were successful, they immediately go back into the present, and they realize right away something isn't right. It looks like the Kree-Skrull War came to Earth, and in New York there are a lot of S.H.I.E.L.D. helicarriers everywhere. Once they get to New York, they're stopped by the Defenders, who eventually bring Wolverine and Invisible Woman to see a cyborg Tony Stark once they realize who they are. After they explain who they are, and Tony checks it, he explains what happened after Wolverine killed Pym. The Avengers broke up shortly afterwards, and then Latveria and Asgard went to war. Thor vanished, and Morgana Le Fay conquered half the world. Without Pym and his technology, magic overtook technology. "You broke the world, Wolverine," are his last words, before he accuses them of being spies of Morgana Le Fay. Just then, Morgana shows up with her army, and everyone begins a fight. Explosions happen all over, and eventually Wolverine and Invisible Woman are going back into the past to change it again. But Tony warns them, they can't keep changing things. Time is like a living organism, and if it gets changed too much, it'll rip. Wolverine and Invisible Woman go back into the past to stop Wolverine from killing Pym, and they manage to do it. But then there's two Wolverines, Invisible Woman and Pym, trying to figure out how they can fix this whole mess. It comes down to Pym's decision to put a failsafe into Ultron, so if needed, he can just turn off Ultron. Invisible Woman and both Wolverines travel back to the present, where the new Wolverine we just ran into asks the original Wolverine from this story to just kill him. He doesn't want to live with the memories of the destroyed world and all of his dead friends. And in the last Age of Ultron death, Wolverine kills Wolverine. Back in the past, Pym finishes his work on Ultron, who turns on for the first time and calls Pym Daddy. We now go a few months before Ultron's first attack, where a package from Invisible Woman shows up for Henry Pym. In this package is a video from his younger self explaining an equation that once uploaded will defeat Ultron for good. The Avengers then go in to rescue Spider-Woman, which revives Ultron and would have started the Age of Ultron. But just as he's reviving, Tony uploads the equation, and Ultron is defeated before he can even start, much to his own surprise. The equation launches a virus that eats apart all of Ultron's programming and completely destroys him. We then go back to the present, where Invisible Woman and Wolverine have returned, and we find that everything is normal. No one has been killed, nothing is in ruins, and everything is okay, isn't it? But just as they're celebrating their victory, a massive shockwave travels through time and space, rippling everything. Galactus shows up in the Ultimate Universe, and Angela appears high above the Earth, vowing revenge on whoever pulled her from her world. More events ripple out of this, including Infinity, the all-new X-Men, and various other things that just get changed because of the universe being ripped and torn and snapped back like a rubber band. We'll cover all of them, but as of right now, the Age of Ultron is ended, and they have fixed it by correcting all of time. Thank you for joining me today for the Age of Ultron, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a like. It really helps us decide where to bring these series.